Welcome to this autumnal wreath tutorial. I'll be showing you how to make this lit wreath here. We'll be using pebbles and tilted vertigo film, brilliant inks in Galaxy Gold, Coffee Bean, Pearlescent Crimson, Rust, Poppy and Rocket Red, Goose Bumps and Ink Potion No. 9, and Memento Luxe Tuxedo Black. Die cut 12 leaves from calico fabric and take Brilliant's Rocket Red ink and apply it directly to the craft sheet. Spritz with some Ink Potion No. 9 and also spritz your leaf. This way the ink will spread more easily across the leaf. Repeat this process with the various colours. You can even mix colours together. Here I've used Coffee Bean and Pearlescent Rust. Spritzed again with a bit of Ink Potion No. 9 and use my finger to gently rub together. You can get a more variegated effect. Once they're all done, you can then heat set to dry. Take some Goose Bumps spray and mix the mica at the bottom before spraying. Spraying onto the leaves will help stop them from fraying and help with the stamping in the next process. Don't forget to clean the top. Here you can see the leaf with a little bit of shine. Now ready to use Galaxy Gold. I'm taking Penmanship stamp by Penny Black, inking it up and applying the leaf to the stamp. Here you can see the pattern. The leaves are quite floppy at this stage, so I glue a piece of wire onto the back to help shape them. I take some very thin gauge wire. I'm actually using florist wire here. Some Perga PVA glue is then applied to the leaf and the wire attached and left to dry. Once my leaves are done, I then spritz again with Goose Bumps spray. Now for the other leaves, I'm going to use some Vertigo and I cut 11 from the leaf die. I take an ink blusher and then I apply some Galaxy Gold Brilliance ink. I spread it about with an ink blusher onto the actual rough side of the surface. If you run your nail along the Vertigo, you'll see there is a smooth and rough side. You can see here how it shines once the actual ink has been applied. I'm then going to take some Pearlescent Rust and a fresh ink blusher and just go round the edges to add a bit more colour and shape to the leaf. Once you have done this, you can then heat set the ink. But don't hold it too close, otherwise it'll warp. Next, take the Penmanship stamp again, and this time I'm using the Pearlescent Rust again, and on the other side, stamp the Penmanship pattern. You can see it very lightly here. Now I'm going to shape the leaf. I'm going to use the heat gun really close up this time so that it actually warps, and by bending against my actual heat mat, I'm actually able to control the warping so that it will give the shape that I want of the leaf. As you can see here, it's now got a bit more shape and dimension. I've repeated this process for the various colours of Brilliance ink as listed at the end. Next I take my wreath and I want to attach my light battery pack to it, but it's going to stick out too much. So I'm just going to cut into the back a little bit with my craft knife so that it will sit more smoothly into the wreath. I'm then going to wrap some ribbon around the actual space. As you can see here, when the battery pack's in, you can still see the batteries. So I'm just going to take a bit of 3-in-1 beacon adhesive and apply a bit of ribbon to where the battery will show. I then glue the battery into the back of the wreath and begin to wrap the actual lights around the wreath. Once I have done this, I then continue to wrap the ribbon round, and this actually holds the lights in place. As you can see, I'm just moving them around until I'm happy with the shape and place of the lights. The leaves are placed roughly where I want them around the wreath, and then I take my hot glue gun and glue them into place. You may find it will actually help to turn the lights on so that you can see where you're actually putting the vertigo leaves so that the light shines through them. Trim them as necessary and then glue into place. Repeat this process all the way around until all the leaves are in place, as you can see here. To create the bow, I fold a piece of ribbon in half and glue down the centre. I then wrap another small piece of ribbon around the top to give the impression of a faux bow shape. On the finished bow, I've actually changed this into a double bow. I then add the tails, again gluing into place. Once my bow is created, I'm then ready to glue it onto my actual wreath. I then take some mini pine cones and, using my glue gun, stick the individual pine cones onto the wreath so that they are all the way round. Next, take an oval Monterey pine piece and attach to a clothes peg. Mark with a pencil and then drill 12 holes using a tiny drill bit that fits 20 gauge wire, as you can see here. I'm using some gold wire here to put around the edge, but before I do that, I'm going to place some Brilliant's Galaxy Gold ink around the edge of the piece and also around the edge of the flat side. Once this is done, I'm going to take some Memento Luxe ink and the blessings from the Tremendous stamp set by Penny Black and stamp the sentiment in the centre. As you can see here, once this is dry, I take a small amount of Goose Bumps shimmer spray and add it to the top. I then take my wire, bend it round the paintbrush and cut into little semicircle shapes and push into the holes that I have pre-drilled. I then attach this to my wreath with the glue gun. My wreath is now finished. Here is a list of the supplies used. Thank you for watching. For further inspiration, please visit my blog.